electronic attention, I want you to receive.
Hello and welcome to the Vapors Report. I'm Anthony Ramella.
And I'm Tommy.
And this week we're going to try some flavors again like we did the last couple of weeks. Like I said, Vapors got 25 new flavors that they've released. We got a little housekeeping to deal with. Got some really good news right now. Yesterday in the Blade newspaper, so if you live in the Toledo area, you're familiar with the Blade newspaper. On page 4 of the first section, there is an article in there about the New England Journal of Medicine has recently released a new study about e-cigarettes, and it is fantastic. The new study shows that all other nicotine replacement therapy combined versus e-cigarettes, more people stop smoking with e-cigarettes twice as much. Twice as much. About 9% of people do with nicotine replacement therapy. About 18% of people do with the vapor. And I think that that's going to increase by a lot after this study came out. The study was actually done overseas in the UK, but the New England Journal of Medicine looked at the results of the study and decided to publish it in the United States. Not only did the Blade run it yesterday, but also Good Morning America ran it on theirs as well. So this is actually going nationwide. I can't tell you how happy that I am that we're finally getting some good press instead of all the negative propaganda that obviously wasn't true. So I'm really happy about that. The other thing is also, you guys have to remember that we're doing the Stop Smoking or You're Gonna Die sweepstakes in our stores. The greatest part about the sweepstakes is you win free e-liquid for a year, a whole year. And those of you that are buying e-liquid know how great a prize this is. The cool part is you can come into any vapor store. Today we're at the Spring Meadows location, but we do have 5 other locations and our website. So you can stop by any of those locations. You don't have to buy anything. Come in. One of the associates will hand you a card. You can fill it out. It goes into the little box on the side. We've already taken in hundreds of entries. You can come in every day. And if you buy something while you're in one of our stores, you get a second entry. So come in, check out what we have. Come to the taster bar like we talk about every time and try a flavor. See what you think. All right, so today we're going to try some flavors. I thought we'd do something a little different this week. We're actually going to use some drippers, some RTAs, kind of give you an idea of some of the products that we have here at Vapors. Unfortunately, I am not as experienced with drippers and RTAs as Tommy is. So today I'm going to talk about flavors and Tommy's going to talk about the tanks. So you guys can know a little bit more. And that's what we like at Vapors. Not all of us are experts at everything, but together we are. So if you come into one of our stores, I might not be the guy that's going to sell you a dripper or be able to explain certain things about it, but I've got a guy right here that can do that. And that's why we work together well. He may not know certain things about juices that I know. So it's nice that we can all work together, but we're doing all this to help you to stop smoking. All right, so we're going to start out with a flavor today. First one we're going to start out with here is from our, what I call our Smackdown line. This is a Smackadamia cookie. This is an absolutely delicious dessert flavor. I've had a couple opportunities to try this already, so I'm getting pretty excited about what we're going to try today. Tommy's going to get us all juiced up here. What kind of tank is this?
This is the Mutation 234.
Okay.
Side airflow, has a whole bunch of holes on it. More of a Cloud Chucky kind of dripper as opposed to a flavor dripper, as it's a little bit older. But, you know, simple 4-post build deck, real easy to use. We got just a regular 24 gauge Kanthal round wire build in here. It's about 0.36 at about 70 watts. So. Bump that one up a little bit more. A lot of air means you kind of lose flavor if it's not at the correct wattage.
Okay.
So,
and on the mod this week, we're actually using the E-Mask mod. This is actually another one of the waterproof style mods, which I really like. And I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it feels in the hand.
I like that the one panel lights up too.
Yeah.
Makes that stained glass kind of pop a little bit more.
I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is lighting up over here. Man, that's delicious. What do you think?
It's kind of against the traditional grain of a normal, macadamia nut cookie. There's no white chocolate, really. It's just nuts and cookies, and
Well, it's not white chocolate macadamia.
Hey, that's when I hear macadamia in a cookie, I traditionally just think of a white chocolate macadamia nut cookie.
I get you. What I get out of this too is a lot of people out here actually like a little bit of a nut flavor in cookies. So I'm getting a lot of that nutty macadamia flavor, and if that's the type of vape that you like, this may be something that you would enjoy.
Yeah,
and I'm enjoying the drip.
It's a very good savory dessert as opposed to most other desserts out there where they're really heavy and super sweet. So it's not that it's bad. It's just a little different for my taste.
Okay.
Because I love desserts.
And that's the great thing about vapors, 250 flavors. If you don't like one, we can move you on to the next one. And the next one is mango milkshake. All right, I have to be honest. When we were picking out new flavors for our new 25, when I got to this one, I almost stopped. I absolutely love this flavor. If you like mango, you like a creamy vape, I have not found a better one than this. I am a big fan of a national brand flavor that we carry called Mucho Mango, and I gotta be honest, I actually like this one a little bit better. So I'm excited to see what it's like on the dripper, because I haven't tried it that way yet. What are we using for this one?
So we got the Drop Dead for this one. Top loading posts. You know, you kind of wick down like you did with the Dead Rabbit, kind of
Okay.
with those rabbit ears.
Yeah.
Same style of airflow as the Dead Rabbit, but has the holes situated just like the Drop did. So kind of restricts the airflow a little bit, kind of get a little bit better flavor off of it.
I had the original Dead Rabbit, and I really like that quite a bit. And I love this iridescent on here and that wacky looking tip. I mean, it really kind of sets it off.
I think the best thing about this is, unlike the Dead Rabbit, instead of that wide open airflow slot, you get the holes, and it makes it a little bit smoother and a little bit more restrictive, which I like.
What I noticed about that one too, because the airflow holes are so high, it's really you're not going to have that over flooding issue where it's coming out through the air holes.
Right,
I've never seen anybody be able to over drip this thing, and that's one of the things I really like about this particular line of drippers. Like I said, I don't really build, but I don't mind using someone else's if they have already built on it. So.
And the best thing about that too, because the coils sit up so high, you can just kind of dump juice down the center.
That's the one right there, baby. If you ain't trying this juice, you're hurting yourself. This is delicious.
I don't typically like mangoes either. I grew up eating a lot of mangoes and just kind of fell out of favor. And
Man,
that one is one of the few mango flavors that I like. That and like you said, the Mucho Mango, but
It is sweet, but I mean that's just creamy deliciousness right
Exactly.
there. That's fantastic.
All right, next one we got up here is the Jiffy Custard. This is actually going to be like a peanut butter custard flavor. I haven't actually had a chance to try this one yet, and I'm actually a fan of peanut butter vapes. There are a few out there. I've tried a lot. There are a few out there that are decent, and I have high hopes for this one because I'm interested in the custard flavor, but peanut butter I think is going to make this really, really stand out. What kind of tank are we using for this one?
so this is the Griffin 25 RTA.
Okay.
And I kind of suck at wicking RTA sometimes. You got a little bit of leaking, but you know it's more of a traditional velocity style deck, except that they use two blocks instead of two upright posts.
Okay.
So your coils sit in it, you know, like you would build it, where one leg sits lower, the other one sits higher. Makes it really easy to build on. Bottom airflow. The wicking on this one is a little weird because you just kind of lay the cotton on top of a plate that has a tiny little hole in it. So a little bit different than what I'm used to with most rebuildable RTAs because you just like jam cotton into a hole.
Right. And if you ever want to see any of these up close and personal, stop by one of our stores. We'll be happy to take one apart for you so you can kind of see the intricacy of it, see which build deck's going to be best for you.
Now I always recommend for new time builders something with a velocity style or traditional post because it's always going to be easier than a bottom loading, bottom post, no posts, top loading, because you don't have to pre-measure your coils. You can just shove them in there and then cut, and it's just a lot simpler.
Yeah, and I always tell people, I'm like, we can make vaping as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. And some of the more complicated things, you're going to get a little bit better flavor. You're going to get that hit that you're looking for. You can fine-tune this stuff the way you like it. But if you want to get into building, there are simple decks to get you started to kind of get you down that road. And you learn pretty quickly the type of builds that you like to do.
I'm gonna say with that tank and that flavor running it at about 80 watts, they all have kind of the same build in it. They're all roughly about a 0.35 to about a 0.4. But that that chamber with that bottom airflow really condenses and makes
Yeah.
that roasted peanut flavor kind of pop really well.
I was gonna say I think this liquid's sticking to the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like that's peanut butter for sure.
It's
Absolutely.
not as decadent as like, you know, some of the other custards or puddings that we have,
right.
but it's sweet enough, and you get enough of that peanut flavor.
The more you do it, the better it gets. I
Yeah.
think.
And I think the wicking for that one specifically actually lends itself to chain vaping.
Yeah, it
Because
really
it's
does.
a little bit looser.
Right.
You don't have to pack up a hole. It's just sitting on top of a plate with a hole in it for the juice to go up into. So
Yeah, and some of you out there might be thinking like some of these tanks are a little bit older. Just because something's got a little bit of age to it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. You know, I mean, this may work great. Someone who's never built before doesn't know that there's some age on it. I mean, and you're talking about building coils, building things that work for you. And like, I know that Griffin's a little bit older, but I got to be honest, if I was using that every day,
Right.
I'd be totally content. I mean,
And
that's
that's-
really a nice flow, nice flavor.
Right.
It's not really hot. I love the tank design. It looks pretty. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't always just throw something away just because it's a little bit older. Maybe pass it on to somebody
Right.
else who's trying to get into building or something like that. To them, it's going to be like treasure.
And that's the one thing that I really love about building is that you can kind of do it for yourself. You can customize it to how you like to do it. It's your own thing. You might like a 200 watt build inside of a tiny tank. Some people won't like that.
Right.
You know, I have, I build for mechs. I have this mech that looks kind of like a lightsaber.
Yeah. I've seen
No
it.
one likes that except me because it does 190 watts on 2 batteries.
Yeah.
But you know, it's that's the thing about building is it's a little bit more of a personal thing than a, you know, a Falcon
Yes.
or a Freemax tank
Right.
because you're doing it for yourself. You're making it the way you like to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy a car from the dealership, or you can, you know, customize it the way
Right.
you like it, and that's kind of the same thing. You're making something that you want the way you want it, and that's the great thing about building. Well, it looks like we're going to smack you at both ends today. We're going to Smackademia Cookie for the first one, and then the last one we're doing off of this is the Boston Smackdown. This is a Boston cream donut flavor. I've been pretty excited about that. We have a couple more Smackdown things to show you here in the next few weeks, but this is going to be the last one we're going to do today. It's called the Boston Smackdown. What tank are we using on this one?
We're using the drop for this one.
Okay.
So same kind of design as the Drop Dead, kind of.
Right.
Because they're just an amalgamation of the Drop Dead or the Dead Rabbit and the Drop. Same kind of, it's the same exact top loading posts
Okay.
in the Drop as it is in the Dead Rabbit or the Drop Dead,
Okay.
but with a lot more airflow in a T shape. I closed off the top, kind of give us a little bit more flavor, hopefully.
So we've got a company that's providing us with the Dead Rabbit, the Drop Dead, and then the Drop. So they've kind of combined all of those in different ways to make something that each person may like. You may like the Dead Rabbit. I have a Dead Rabbit, and it's probably my favorite dripper tank that I own. You know, some people may like the Drop. Some people might like the combination of both. I love that this company gave us options for those things. And you can come to a vapor store and check out the different ways these are set up and decide which one's going to be right for you.
I'm going to open up that top airflow because
Okay.
it's a little bit too restricted for my liking. But
Like those big hits.
it didn't affect the flavor at all. It kind of cooled it down a little bit.
Okay.
The flavor on that is fantastic. You know, if you think with something with that much airflow would be a little
Yeah, but the cloud is so dense.
right. It's almost as much airflow as the 234, but you know, not as
Oh,
cool.
but
Yeah, I feel like I get a much better lung fill hit with
Yeah.
this though. That would definitely be for me. And you know what? I think I like the Drop better than the Drop Dead.
I am kind of indifferent. I like the restrictiveness of the Drop Dead, but I like the flavor that I'm getting off of that based off of the airflow. TVC, who designed that, he did a really good job with that.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. All right, well, before we move on, I want to remind everybody, we do have a big Vape Expo coming to Toledo at the end of March, March 30th and 31st at the Seagate Convention Center. Vapors is going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to be giving away prizes. We're going to be giving away juice. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff there. There's a lot of fun things to do. It's pretty inexpensive to get in, and I'd love to see you guys come by the Vapors booth, even if you don't shop at our store, but I would like to hear your story about how you stopped smoking, how long it's been, and how vaping has helped you. Your story may help someone else make the decision to stop smoking, and it could save their life. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we've tried the 4 flavors we have for today, and there is always another bottle out here. So we're still releasing stuff for our Juice of the Week. So that means it must be time for the Juice of the Week. All right, everybody, welcome back. Like I said, it's time to do the Juice of the Week, and we've been releasing things from the Omega line. This is a company that's got some fantastic, unique flavors that are coming out. They keep doing us a solid every week, so they are actually putting Vapors labels on their first run for us, which I think is kind of cool. These are limited edition bottles, so we only have these for the first run, and then after that, they'll go back to the regular Omega bottles. So if you're a collector out there and you're really into vape stuff, you got to come in and get one of these limited edition bottles while they last. This week is a flavor I'm really excited about. We've had all kinds of different cherry flavors. We've had all kinds of different drink flavors, and they come out with a flavor that I know a lot of you really like, Cherry Dew. This is going to blow people's minds. I've tried other Dew style flavors that were decent, but no one's ever come out with the cherry version of this that I know a lot of you out there really love. And I've had an opportunity to try this already, and it is fantastic, but I haven't had a chance to try it with a dripper, and that usually sends the flavor to the next level. So that's what we're going to do right now. So what kind of tank are we using for this one?
So on this one we have the Zeus Dual RTA. This one has the postless design that I was kind of talking about earlier, which means you just kind of slot your coils into the deck. They just sit there.
Okay.
It's also top airflow, so it's not going to leak on you.
Okay.
And apparently it's supposed to give good flavor. I haven't actually used this one a whole lot.
Okay.
I'm not very good with RTA, so I don't usually buy them. But
I got to be honest, this actually sells really well at our stores. A lot of people that buy this are super happy with it. One of the nice things are the actual design of the tank itself is beautiful. I mean, that particular rainbow is gorgeous. We do have a few other colors available for it. But if you're looking for a big, beefy, dripper with a tank on it, this is something that I would definitely look into. The quality of this device is really second to none from some of the other ones that I've seen.
Yeah, that one, that one was hot at 70 watts.
Yeah.
They all have, like I said, they all have similar builds, but whatever's going on in that chamber made 70 watts, like, hot.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, and that flavor.
Wow. That's spot on. That is spot on. It really is.
I haven't drank that specific flavor in a long time because it's really kind of hard to find it in a diet version. but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Hey, sometimes you just can't drink regular Dew anymore, man.
Right.
It's too sweet.
That's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Get down to the Vapor store. Cherry Dew from the Omega line. That is fantastic. It's going out today. It's the first day that anyone, anywhere can pick up this liquid. So be the first. Tell your friends. Come out. Here at the Vapors Report, we want to give you information about things you want to know, but we also want to have some fun in the process. But the main message is stop smoking or you're going to die, all right? So from here, all of us here at the Vapors Report, we're going to come back to you next week. I'm Anthony Ramella.
And I'm Tommy.
We'll see you next week. Same vape time, same vape channel. Thank you, and good night.
I want you to see. I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to receive.